Hello, Faye. How are you?
Hello, Esbjorn. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, bit early morning. It feels like, although it's I think almost lunchtime. But there we go. So we are going to talk a bit about Ask a Friend, a new part of our Access Folk research project. So I'm just going to start asking you simply, what is Ask a Friend, Faye?
Okay, Ask a Friend. It's a new, exciting research method that we've just kind of invented because we want to find out about people that don't currently do folk singing. They might have done a bit in the past, but what do the people who aren't involved in it think about folk singing? What are their past experiences? What have they done? What do they think about it? Why don't they do it? Why might they want to do it? So basically, we're trying to reach people that we don't already know. And we thought the best way to do that was to find people that are already kind of interested and get them to talk to their friends and find people that they know that they think might be interested in folk singing. So yeah, so it's a method where instead of us doing the research, we're sort of passing that out and asking people to have conversations with people they know and do the interviews for us, basically, but kind of informal conversations, and send them in to us, and we'll have this massive pile of experiences.
And I think it's important also, it's not like hardcore research interviews going on for hours and hours, is it? It's quite an informal half-an-hour chat around a couple of themes we put together. So it should also be quite fun. You know, you might find out things about your friends that you didn't know before, things like that. Positive things, of course.
Yeah. And we've done lots of guidance as well to support people, which we'll go into in a minute.
Yeah. So you mentioned this a bit, but like who can be involved, both as an interviewer and interviewee? Could you say something more about that?
Yeah, so interviewers can be anybody. Whether you're into folk music already or not, but presumably you've got some kind of interest in the project. So we're not trying to reach out for really, really hard to reach people. But yeah, so anybody can be an interviewer, basically, if you're over 18. That's the thing. It has to be over 18s for ethics research issues. So anyone can be an interviewer. And then the people we want you to talk to are people that you think might have an interest. So a bit like the interviews, we're not trying to change the whole world and get the whole country involved in folk singing, but we're interested in what the people who you think could be into this scene, what is putting them off. So basically people that have got some kind of connection, either they're involved in other kinds of singing or community singing, or they're interested in heritage projects or history, or sort of any kind of aspect that makes you think that they would have an interest. I should say we're not trying to just keep it like the existing core and exactly the same people just reproducing that. We're trying to diversify as well. So if there are people that are a bit outside the norm of people that you see in the folk scene, that's interesting too, as long as you think they might have an interest in traditional music and singing.
We are not really trying to convert those people to want people to interview. It's not a kind of a conversion project. It is about trying to understand kind of what makes people tick in regards to participation in folk music or not participating in folk singing, folk music. So every single interview might not have that much information in it, but we're hoping that we get loads and loads and loads of interviews, and from that we can then kind of figure out what are the themes that emerge from this as well. So what these people are going to do the interview then, if you focus on the people, the interviewer, so what do they actually have to do to be part of Ask a Folk?
For Ask a Friend, they're going
Ask a Folk, Ask a Friend.
Ask a Folkie.
No, not Ask a Folkie.
Ask a Folkie. They will. It started off as a really simple concept. You just go out, meet a friend, talk for half an hour, send us the recording, and think about it yourself as well, because we're interested in what the interviewer thinks about the conversation too. So that's basically, in total simple form, pick someone, talk to them, send some stuff to us. But because it's a university project, of course, we're slightly bound by lots of health and safety, ethical issues, yada, 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 which are really important. So we've gone through all those. So we've tried to really minimize the impact of that on the interviewers, but on the website, you'll find lots of information around all this kind of thing. So it's very flexible, basically, and it's down to what you need. So the important things from our end is consent. We need to know that the interviewer consents and understands what it is that they're doing. And of course, that the interviewee knows why you're talking to them and what their material is going to be used for. That bit is really important from the university side. So you both have to sign a form, it's in Google Doc or in hard copy, but that has to happen in order for us to be able to use it. Otherwise, you can have the conversation, but we'll have to throw it away, which is rubbish. So that has to happen. Conversation you can do in any way you like, but we've given some guidance. We've come up with sort of the themes that we're interested to explore, but within that you can pick and choose your questions. You can develop it for what's interesting between the two of you, but we've done a kind of interview schedule, the amount of time to look at each area, if that's useful. So some people will follow that quite religiously, other people will kind of maybe have more interview experience and be a bit more freefall. So that's up to you. We've put as much support in as the most supported person might need, but you can use as much or little as you like. On top of that, we've done lots of interview training as well. So if the thought of doing an interview is scary, you need no skills. We just want you to talk to somebody that you already know. So you don't actually need any training in that. But because some people we thought might be a bit nervous about that or actually want to develop their interviewing techniques, use this as a way of developing your own practice. So we've done a kind of mini module, I suppose, on the basics of this kind of research interview, because it is quite particular. So you're very welcome to look at those materials or not, up to you. And then you do your recording, and then we've done a form basically to capture your thoughts about the recording as well, the things you found interesting, why you chose that person, anything else that you think we should know about that isn't just captured in the recording. So you would fill that in and then send the recording and that document to the project, and then that's done.
Yeah, so it is fairly straightforward, I think, with all this. I mean, it is a lot of different stuff you'll see on the web page as well for reasons you explained, but you can also just kind of follow there from A to B to C to D and just go with the instructions, so you barely have to think about it, or just kind of have a chat, record it and send it to us, with just as long as you kind of talk about the areas that you're interested in. I can say that sorry.
On the first page of the Ask a Friend is a checklist, which basically goes through all the stages that you have to do very quickly, 8 points. That's the thing you need to do. And then you can delve from that into the other bits as you feel necessary. So not everybody has to talk through everything, but do go through that first checklist.
Yeah, it's good to check that. And I can also say that the interview training tutorial thing we put together, it can be a bit fun as well. You'll see me and Faye doing a lot of excellent videos where we discuss our interesting food and things like that. So if you get a bit bored an evening, that could be something you entertain yourself with as well.
You can learn about my attitudes towards cheese and Esbjorn's experience in fish finger factories. There's a wealth.
There's a wealth of information out there. So, I mean, this sounds a bit, when we talk about this, that we basically don't want to do our own jobs and we want other people to do the work for us. So the people who kind of sign up to do interviews, what do they actually get out of this?
Yeah, so it's firstly to clarify that it's not just to stop us having to go out and do lots of interviews. We want the people who are being talked to feel quite safe, because it's quite a weird kind of question to ask people, why aren't you interested in something? And that can feel quite threatening if you're approached by an interviewer in a research context. It can feel a bit critical. So it's the reason we're doing this method is kind of twofold. One, you will find more interesting people than we would be able to find. And two, they will talk to you more openly than they would talk to us. So that's why we're doing it this way, not that we're lazy. Thank you, Esbjorn. but also to recognise that this does take time and you are essentially working as researchers. We have a sort of token £10 gift voucher that we will give for every interview submitted, up to 5 interviews. So we haven't said that actually, you can do multiple ones. You may have more than one acquaintance that you would like to speak to. So yeah, you'll get a tenner.
Get a tenner. And also, of course, it's actually a chance to learn a bit more about how to do research. If you want to engage with that, you can through this also be more involved in Access Folk in different projects. The idea is that we're also going to work more with the material we gather for this project and do analysis and things like that in groups and with people who actually did the interviews as well. So if you have an interest in folk music and research or things like that, this could be a good chance to actually, get some skills, get some, just trying things out, and hang out with me and Faye, probably like this on the screen, but still, if you're in Sheffield, we'll make you a cup of coffee and discuss research if needed. So if, of course, this sounds incredibly interesting, and if I wasn't involved, I would just throw myself on my computer to sign up immediately. But how do I sign up to this if I would be interested?
Firstly, go to the website. So you might already be there, watching this there, or you might be watching this somewhere else. So find the Access Folk website, and there will be a link on one of the pages there. That is the sign up link. Esbjørn, you might be better to talk through the process. Go on.
Well, it is as Faye mentioned before. You click there, get involved, or sign up. I can't remember exactly what we wrote, but something like that. It will be clearly marked, and that will take you to the sign up form, which is called the Co-Researchers Agreement and Consent Form, which you will have to sign up to before you can actually do anything in this. And then read through those easy steps on the webpage saying how to get involved, and follow the instructions. Everything is really on the webpage. There's very little that you need to contact us about, although we, of course, very happy to answer any questions you might have. And we will be running this project from about now. The webpage is live, and it will be running up into November. We haven't decided exactly when, but towards the end of November. So 8 weeks or around that, depending on if you feel like we need a bit more time, or if that's enough to get started on. And if you want to just crack away and do everything in an afternoon, that's fine. If you want to kind of potter around and try things out, that's also perfectly okay. Is there anything else to say about Ask a Friend?
I don't know. I think that thing about contact is probably quite important, because you can just sign the form and then go off and do it, and like not necessarily get anything else from us as people, like live. But that might feel a bit awkward. You might want some confirmation that we've got your consent form and that it's okay to just go off and do this. So if you're feeling anxious about it at all, just email us at accessfolk@sheffield.ac.uk. All on the website as well, and just chat to us, because that'll just come to Esbjørn and me, or it might be Helen who monitors the email as well. So don't be scared of anything. If you're scared of it or worried, or you've got any questions at all that you can't find on the website, or if it's just baffling, just talk to us. We'd really like to help you be able to get involved. We don't want it to be a threatening or isolating experience at all. So yeah, just come and do it. You're good.
And I think it also will be fun. I mean, I'm going to do some of these interviews myself with random people I know who are not interested in folk music, and I'm quite looking forward to see how they react to these questions as well.
Gonna be good. Go on.
Excellent.
Conquer.
Okay, thank you very much, Faye, and yeah, join us in Ask a Friend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.